Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
Old walkie-talkies used for removing earwax. And this is a little bit of Yankee ingenuity at work.
That's okay.
You know,
The same level of precision as the Boeing 747 airplane was. I'm gonna go in here, and I don't know how much detail you can get, but basically what I do is I move this around, and I just move the hairs out so that the passive transmission of light, the recording is done and the digitizing is done. So remember I was saying that this is the center of their head.
I mean, you can get them like playing chess or something. And so they're competing, and there's a lot of interesting things going on. We want to understand the neural circuitry that's associated with interaction between individuals. It's probably one of the most fundamental functions of the human species, and yet we know very little about it.
This is a basket, looks like a picnic basket. Something you would carry a bunch of food in, you know, sprawl a blanket down. This is a bowl of rice. A bowl of rice, something you could eat with a fork, you could eat with chopsticks, staple of...
The visual information and facial expressions are actually coded intimately with the systems of the brain that are coding the language processes. And this is something that hadn't been really appreciated before.
Cigarettes, ooh, hate them. So glad that we have good, strong laws keeping them out of our buildings.
Mom genes, actually. I don't know if that's just a function of the image being split, but those are some sizably wide genes.
And you can rotate it around to make sure that the optos are in the right position. So this is the right side of the brain.
We want to take the physiologic information we recorded on the NIRS machine in the other room, and we want to know where is that information anatomically.
From the top, which is what we usually do when we click the channels. And these circles mark the Asian, Indian, Sikh.
Do you find talking as active and listening as passive?
Well, the new information here is that visual reports of, say, facial information are an intimate part of the language system as it is being used in an interactive situation like a dialogue.
This looks like a yogurt parfait. You got some raspberries, some blueberries, some granola, strawberries, and looks like layers of Greek yogurt in there.
Looks like it's just been uncorked and ready to have a little taste to see if it's...
In the case of autism, the primary hallmark of the disorder, the one that is usually first noticed when parents and health professionals suspect that a child might have autism, is the fact that the child fails to engage with other individuals. And yet, we know very little about that neural circuitry that involves engagement with others.
Brain. So you can think about it as we're asking whether the responses in the listener's brain. We developed new methods in which I can really scan people while they are telling real-life stories in the scanner, and then I can play these stories to a group of listeners, and what we are asking is whether the listener's brain becomes similar to the speaker brain during natural real-life communication. So once we are looking on the brains of the speakers and the listeners, what we see that there is a strong coupling between. So the similar the brain patterns, the better the communication and the understanding. So if you really get me now, your brain patterns become similar and coupled to my brain patterns.
Grapes I love to eat raw. I prefer white grapes though. They're usually, I don't know, they're a little sweeter.